Don't go away. You're going to want to meet Jasper, the flying beagle, coming up next on Doggy Dilemmas.
Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer with over 20 years experience training dogs and people. If you've got a doggy dilemma, Denise can help.
Hi, I'm Denise Mazzola. Welcome to another episode of Doggy Dilemmas. Today we're with Logan, and she has 5 beagles, but we're going to concentrate, I think, on 2, Jasper and Remington, and see what's happening. There's a lot of issues, and I'm not going to pretend to remember them all right now. So let's introduce Logan. How are you, Logan?
Good.
It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yes, it has.
So I want you just to sort of rattle off. Let's start with Jasper.
Okay.
All of the issues, and then we'll prioritize them and and then we'll talk about Remington.
Okay.
So give me the stats on Jasper. It's been a while. How old is he? I know he's a beagle.
He is 2 years old,
Okay.
non-neutered male.
Yep.
He gets on the counters, eats out of the sink.
So let's be clear. He doesn't just like put his feet up and
No, he
pull.
jumps on the
He
counters.
can go from the floor to the counter.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even know if I should put that under counter surfing or something else. Okay.
When we are on walks, he tries to attack other dogs.
Okay. So he's dog reactive to everybody?
Yes, 95% of them.
Okay.
There's the occasional few he doesn't,
No matter where you
no
are.
matter where I am.
On leash.
Yep.
Okay. But no issues with the 5 dogs he's living with?
Him and Remington butt heads sometimes.
Okay.
Not to the point where they're hurting each other. They
Okay.
more make noise. This is my domain. You tell them knock it off, and they usually stop
Okay.
there.
So do they just posture, growl, some eye contact, or are
They
actually
growl.
engaging?
They growl. Sometimes they engage, but they just make noise.
Okay.
They don't actually.
Okay. All right. So we've got counter surfing, dog reactive on leash. What else?
That's pretty much it with him.
Okay. So when Jasper's been in class, though, it seems like you've been fairly frustrated with his.
When we're out in public, he pretends like he doesn't know anything. He doesn't
Okay.
know the sit. He'll lay down, but he won't sit.
Okay.
When we're in the house, he knows he'll do most everything.
He'll do most things.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And how about this funny behavior that he jumps on your legs or something?
He
when you're
does when
walking?
I'm walking. He'll jump up and bite at me, or he'll bite at the back of me.
And is that mostly when you walk downtown? Is that all the time?
It's mostly when I walk downtown.
Okay.
And usually that time it's me, Linda, and my mom.
If you walk him alone, does he do that?
I haven't tried that.
Okay. And it's always on the side or the back of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And anything else with Jasper?
Nope, that's pretty much it with him.
And how about Remington? How old is he?
He is 1.5 years. He's very fearful.
Okay. Of?
Anything, like if we are walking downtown, I've been trying to slowly work with him, work him into it. He doesn't like people to touch him. Sounds he runs from. Other dogs he'll run from.
Okay. So do you think he's sound sensitive in the house?
Not in the house, no.
Okay.
When
so
he's
sound
out.
sensitive out of the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a rescue, so I don't really know what.
Okay. So
He's
sound sensitive. What you said a few other things. Fearful of.
Of
So we were all able to pat him.
Because he was in his house. If you
Okay.
get him out of his environment,
Okay.
he panics and he'll totally shut down. Like he'll want to sit on your lap, he'll want to climb on you.
Is he visibly shaking?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay. All right, so
Like
this
when
is-
we did have him in class, he would work for about 10-15 minutes and then he'd just stop.
Okay. And any dog issues out of the house?
No,
No, he's all right.
he is good with other dogs out of the house.
Okay.
His prey drive, he's got a high prey drive.
And what does that look like? Like how do you see it?
I see it when we go out to do rabbits. He can't go out with us because he'll try to bite us.
Try to bite you.
Yeah, you get the rabbit food. That's all you have to do is get the rabbit food and he'll totally freak. You can't open the rabbit cages with him out there.
Okay. So is the rabbit food in the house somewhere?
Yep, it's in my bedroom. So
Okay.
when we go to get it to take it out, we
Yeah.
have to keep him in the house or he'll physically jump up to get you.
Huh. All right, so he has some redirected stuff too.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. What else?
That's pretty much with him. And he gets on the kitchen table. He physically jumps on the
This
kitchen.
table. Remington.
Sitting here eating
Who
dinner
knew?
and he'll just fly up here.
Really?
No hint, no nothing. He'll just,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay.
And he's petrified of his crate.
Do you use it? Does he go in on his own or not?
No, we have to pick him up and put him in it.
Okay. When do you, crates, and you won't go in with food?
Occasionally he'll go in with food. I put him in with food all the time. But 95% of the time you're picking him up and carrying him in there.
Okay.
Because he'll roll over and is submissive. I don't want to go.
Okay. And will he eat the food once he's in the crate?
If they're cookies, yes. If it's his regular dinner, no.
Okay, so high value treats he'll eat when he's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But he won't like follow a trail to get in? Mm-mm. All right. Okay, so let's prioritize. Do you want to talk about Jasper or Remington first?
We can do Jasper.
Okay. And what would be like we've got counter surfing, dog reactive on leash. You lose all behavior when you're outside of the house. Do you have behavior when you go out to your other areas?
Yes.
He'll do it outside here. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he's jumping on you downtown.
Yes.
And does he do that even, I think I asked you, but I don't remember the answer, when you walk alone? Or is it just when you're walking with your group?
Just when I'm walking with the group.
And have you had occasion to walk him alone?
Mm-mm.
So we don't really know?
No.
Okay. All right, so show me the counter that he's getting on. And I want to see your setup, because I know you've done some things to try to prevent this from happening. So
pretty
this
much.
is Jasper right here.
This is Jasper.
You're showing him the egg roll.
Yeah. And then you
It's
just
in the
leave
sink.
it. Yep. He'll check it out. All done. All done.
Wow. One leap.
One leap.
No.
No hesitation.
So-
And he'll do it all day long if there's something in the sink.
Well, you guys must have a really clean house then.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. And if there's dishes in here, he'll flip this so they go all smashing this way.
To see if there's any like
Food.
clean dishes?
Yep.
He'll do it for clean dishes. So I'm just laughing because here's the dog that he won't do anything when you're out in public, right?
Right.
But he'll jump up on the counter and eat, like clearly he'll eat whatever you've got.
Yep.
And he'll tip over dishes so he doesn't mind the
No.
clanking sound.
Right.
Okay. So just so everybody's kind of knows what we've talked about, you've done the booby trap idea.
Yep.
Which is basically if this were a towel, right? You hung some towel.
Towels and pots
you had a
and
pile
pans.
of dishes.
Yep.
And he jumped up, knocked them off, and you said scared all the other dogs.
But him.
But well, yeah, if he's knocking over the tray.
Yeah.
So, and you've tried to manage this, and later you're going to show us where he goes behind a very high, I don't know, gate or barrier.
Yep.
And then you've put a gate on top of that,
Yeah.
and he's still,
And he'll jump on the washer to pull down the other gate.
whenever he's back there. So, it's really interesting because clearly he's smart.
He is smart.
I mean, it's all about motivation. So let me rephrase it, I guess. He is so motivated to either get that food or to get out of there that he's done all these things that drive you crazy to do that.
Yep.
So you guys probably have a really clean counter. You never leave food in the sink.
Never.
Or anything.
You can't, not even on the stove. If you're
He'll get up on
cooking, you have to be right there. Because
He'll jump up on the stove?
Well, it's hot, too, remind you. That doesn't faze him.
And do we know anything, like, how old was he when you got him?
8 weeks.
Oh, so he's been here since he was a puppy. Wow.
And
So we can't even blame it on a past owner.
Nope.
And he's 2?
Yep.
He's 2. My little cheat sheet
He
on
is
his shoes.
2.
All right, so bottom line is that I like to always think about what do we want the dog to do instead of what do we not want him to do.
Right.
I'm not sure, given that there's 5 dogs, teaching him what you want him to do when you're cooking, when he's had basically a 2-year history of jumping on the counters, is going to work.
Right.
It would work, but it's going to take a
A
long
long time. Yeah.
For the counter surfing, he's going to need some sort of punishment to happen on the counter. Not necessarily with you standing right there. He needs to associate it with the counter.
Right.
And if the booby trap idea only scares everybody else, that's not really fair.
Right.
Now, have you ever tried a spray citronella collar on him?
Not yet. No.
That's a remote control.
Okay.
You know, we're just going to have to try it. And I would have, so if you sit at the kitchen table where we started, he will obviously do that. He'll do it. He's standing right there. Right. What I would like you to do is to spray him in
Air.
In air.
Okay.
Like, don't wait till
Until
he's
it's cold.
here, and it's probably not going to deter him once he's in the sink mowing on whatever's in
Right.
there. It has to happen, or he seems to have some fairly clear signals about the air scent, and then he gets in the position to jump, which is, maybe you should just do agility with him.
Right.
That's when I would spray him.
Okay.
And I wouldn't, sometimes I like to say something like, if I'm really trying to build up a leave it, I'll have people say, leave it, and then spray him, which you could do. So if you were sitting or standing, he's getting ready, you're going to just yell, leave it! He's midair or starting, and you're going to spray him. In theory, what should happen is the leave it should be the predictor of the aversive, which is the spray.
Spray.
And hopefully he wouldn't have to wear a spray collar for the rest of his life, so that you could just say leave it and be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's going to have that thing happen to me.
Right.
And he's going to have to experience it here and maybe even over there. He's never been burned on the stove when you're cooking?
No, because we're right there when he does, so we kind of get him back down.
Right, but the first time like he ever jumped up on the stove, you must have
He
been
jumps
taught.
up here on the side, and then he'll.
All right, so that's going to be that's my gut feeling. I kind of don't like to go there first, but I think the fact that he's pulling gates down and he's very quiet. You probably don't even know he's up here.
Not half the time, not unless you hear him into something.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, you're right. You could body block him or whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's just sort of waiting for his opportunity to see if I can get up there and get
That
him.
or he.
But that's a good mental note, because he may not like to work for food also when he's out in public.
Right.
Like that's
And-
like there are food motivated dogs that like food and will be happy to help themselves if you leave it around.
Right.
But then when you require them to do something for it, they're like, yeah, no thanks. So he may fall into that category a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's, can you work with him with all the other dogs around, or should they go someplace else?
They could probably go somewhere else.
All right, so let's get everybody,
Come on, guys, let's go out.
wherever it is they go.
Take everybody but
Remington.
him out. Remy, come.
Come on, old lady.
Come on.
We may have done this in class, but I want you to do it again. Here's 10 pieces of chicken. We're gonna work just on the sit,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move a chair for you. I want you to try to find, were you in class when we did this?
I think so.
10 different, you're going to put yourself in 10 different
Different positions.
and ask him to sit. So you can put the food on the counter. If he doesn't comply, right, you're going to set it aside. If he does, he gets the sit. So you can put your leg up, you can put your arms out, you can, bend over towards them or something, whichever you need to do.
Come here.
So let's have you actually put the food on the counter.
Okay.
Go ahead. So just ask one standing.
Can you sit?
Good. He
Good
gets-
boy.
So put the chicken in the hand. Like, I don't want you to signal with the chicken, but
Okay.
you can have it in your other hand.
Okay. Can you sit? No, sit.
No, so just give it to me. And ask again.
In the same position
No,
or
different.
different?
Put your foot up on the chair or something.
Sit. Good
Good.
boy.
And face the sink this time. He's gonna have to get up. Come on, Jasper, get up. There you go.
Sit.
Nice.
Good boy.
And do one squatting.
Squatting.
Put the food behind your back.
Come here.
Oh, well, that's nice. He's thinking.
Sit. Sit.
Nope, give it to me. Put your foot behind the back.
Can you sit? Sit.
So 2 low ones, that's right. Just trying to find out what he's having a hard time with. So it's not like he's not trying, she's trying, he's just getting the wrong signal.
Right.
So come on, Jasper, get up. There you go. We know you can.
Come here. Sit. Boy. Can you sit? Sit.
Now, is this a different signal than this? What is this? Is that sit?
Well, I was just putting my arms out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Just doing what I told you to do. All right.
Come here. Sit. That's another downfall. It's almost like he knows to sit, but he'll lay down instead.
Right, and I'll talk about that in a second.
Come here. Sit.
So we got a lot of downs. That's all right.
Sit. Good boy.
Good. Okay. So out of the 10, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's 40% accurate with the sit, which is good information.
Yeah.
And it's factual. My observations, if I remember right, he has some issues when you come lower. Sit. Or Jasper, sit. Because he seems to default to the down.
Right.
Now, most pet dog owners, they don't care if their dog sits or lays down, but you're having some issues with him.
Right.
So I'd like to clear that up for him. Let's do the same thing, and we're going to do just the down,
Okay.
not the sit. If he does it, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Instead of feeding him in the down, just toss it aside so that he'll get up and then you can reposition for another one.
Okay.
So same thing, treat behind your back and then whatever your down signal is.
Okay. Jasper. Down. Good boy.
Good. And sit in the chair.
Down.
Nice.
Good boy. Down. Good boy.
Very nice. Try facing the counter.
Jasper, down. Down.
Good.
Good boy. Down. Good boy.
Let's just sort of open the cupboard underneath, just like you're pretending to. Yep, like that, and ask him.
Jasper, down. Down.
Good.
Boy. Down. Good boy.
Nice. So let's have you sit in the chair and just do, I don't know, kind of just, I know it's not very comfortable, but pretend like you're relaxing.
Jasper, down. Boy.
Excellent.
Down. Good boy. Down. Down.
Just very good.
Good boy.
All right, so that's 100%. 10 different positions. And I would test it more, go in your living area, have the TV on, and I would do it with him alone to make sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you're walking and you're not here, because I know that's where the frustration is, will he do a lay down, or he just won't do anything?
He won't do anything.
And he's not even interested in the food. He's just environmentally stimulated at that
Yep.
point. Okay. All right. So there's going to be a little bit of retraining that has to happen. The sit needs more work, so I'd like you could do 5 or 10, it doesn't matter. But if you did 10 sits a day or 5 sits a day, just like we did, but he may need to be sort of retrained, but you don't need to have the lure in your hand, and that's the biggest problem that happens when we do lure reward training is people
Right.
never get rid of the food. So one of the problems with sitting, we'll ask, I want him to get up. So get up a second. Sit. Good boy. You could click that if you were so inclined and you wanted to. But what I really want you to do is you're going to have 2 treats. So to help him get the right position, and I'm gonna, nope, come here. You just like the down. Come here, sit. That goes away, and then you're gonna treat him with your other hand.
Okay.
He doesn't need to have the lure, and because I'd like you to, you don't need food all the time, so go ahead and
Right.
try that, sitting or standing. Stressful.
Sit. No, sit.
So maybe lure him up with the treat right in your hand, see if we can get him back up
Sit.
into the sit.
Sit. Sit. Sit. Good boy.
Good. Let's get him closer and try that one more time.
Come here. Sit. Sit.
Need a bigger piece? Here's some more.
Sit.
So try body blocking him up.
Sit.
Yes.
Good boy.
So I'd like to try to find a way to catch him before he goes down, and then we have to correct him.
Right.
So if you ask him from the stand when you're standing, does that help?
Can you sit? Sit.
Let me give this to you. Oh, good.
Sit. Boy.
Good. And just walk to the sink and ask him again, standing up.
Sit.
Good.
Good boy.
So it seems like it. And one more time standing up, and then we'll sit down again.
Come here. Come here. Sit.
Good.
Good boy.
Good. And let's do one more sitting. Try to catch him, like, so if he goes to lay down, even if you have to jump up and body block him, try to
Okay.
prevent him from doing that.
Sit.
Oh, good.
Good boy. Come here. No. Come here.
Just toss him a piece of food so he gets up.
Come here. Sit.
Nice. Oh,
No.
good. Good, good,
Good
good.
boy.
Yep. It's nice that he has a good down.
Right.
But it seems like, he could do both things, especially with some of the issues you're having.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be a little bit of back to basics for the sit. And fairly quickly, if you did 10 a day for 2 days, I would say the third day, you're just going to hold your hand like you have the food, but you're not
I'm not
going
going
to
to.
ask for the sit and then treat with the other hand.
Okay.
Okay. As a way to start fading the food. When you have 80% accuracy with no lure, right, but you're still treating him from the other hand, then I would have you switch to a variable schedule.
Okay.
Then you're going to ask, good boy, but he doesn't always get
Let's
it.
get it.
The other problem may be, and I haven't seen him outside your property, is if it's always predictable, you lose behavior. It doesn't make it stronger.
Right.
Putting the reinforcements, which is the food, on a variable schedule will be helpful. Okay.
Okay.
But I'd like to get that sit stronger for you.
Okay.
The down could already be on a variable schedule. So, and you had a nice hand signal like this. There was no food in your hand.
No.
So down should be on a variable schedule right from the beginning.
Right.
Okay. Now, tell me more about this reactivity and when that started, because I don't remember hearing that in class.
No, it just started maybe like 3 or 4 months ago because
And-
he never did it.
So 3 or 4 months ago was maybe January, February?
Yeah, roughly.
If it's May now, it's
Yeah.
month 5. Anything happen? Did some dog attack him? Any prongs or choke collars used
No.
at the time?
No, we only use harness on him when I walk him.
And do you remember when you first saw it or when it first happened?
It happened with a dog that was barking at him. That's when it first
Here
started.
or somewhere?
Somewhere when we were walking downtown.
Downtown. So some dogs started to bark
Bark
at
at
him.
him, and then that's when it's actually really started.
Okay. And then he just sort of gives it back. He
To
sees the dog.
every dog.
He sees, regardless of whether they're reacting to him or not. Okay. All right. So I would handle that with a couple of things. If possible, you're going to give him as much space as you can from the other dog. Let's put his harness on so we can do a little work inside. Oh, what's that, Remington? Or not Remington. God, who's the other one? Good boy. Mr. Jasper. So does he pull on that harness when he sees other dogs? And when he sees other dogs?
He will pull and he'll lunge.
Okay.
And there's no pulling his attention back to you whatsoever.
Right. How, if we were walking, how far away does the dog have to be?
Probably to the doorway, not very far.
Okay. If the dog were out to where our cars are parked, would you get a reaction from him?
His ears would go up, his head would go up.
Okay, so he'd alert.
Alert.
Good observations on your part. That's excellent. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple things just standing in the kitchen. And one is what I call a back.
Okay.
And do you want to use the clicker, or is it too much? Is it too cumbersome?
No, that was going to be our next training for his reaction.
To use it.
Use
Okay.
the clicker.
All right. So let me show you what the callback looks like. See if he'll. I'm going to move this chair back to where it was. Ciao, Jasper. So you're going to practice this without him. I'm going to walk this way without him ever seeing a dog. Let's have you actually walk to that doorway, and we'll see if he'll sort of walk towards you. Come on, Jasper, let's go. So you're going to do a callback, Jasper! And initially you're going to have to get the treats right on his nose. Come on, 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 come on. Oh, maybe you have a harness thing.
He does.
He doesn't seem to like the harness.
No, and I tried the gentle leader, and he'll just totally
Freeze.
freeze.
What about- do you
Once
have
I
a-
get him out of the house in his harness, he's okay. But to get him out, you have to pull him.
Does he have a regular collar?
Yeah.
Because that was pretty interesting. Let's try that. Huh. Weird. Maybe if you put the harness up there, he won't jump up there. Oh no, it's the harness. All right. Let's see what we can get out of you this time.
It's anything that's foreign to him. Like, that's not foreign. He's worn it ever since I've had him. And he's fine out of the house. It's in the house. He'll just freeze.
So once you get him downtown, even with the harness on, he'll walk.
Perfectly.
Just-
It's just from here out there.
That is so weird.
Everything, even that collar, the gentle leader, because you.
But he's not weird about this on because he wears it all the time. Will he chew this off? I would start to maybe wow. Like that's a big stress. Just because the collar.
Just because he has something different on. And he's always been like that.
I would start to leave them on.
All
even
the
if,
time.
Yeah. Just habituate him to them. It's hard to say whether it's playing into the problems you're having outside, but it could be one thing. I mean, if it's so, I mean, honestly, I've never seen a dog that gets all weirded out because you put a collar on inside the house.
Right.
I mean, it's like, what is that about? I should have the answers, but I don't know what it is. All right, you. So the way this would look, come on, Jasper. Come on, I just saw you jump on the counter. Walk with him, and clearly you may have to do this someplace else. Come on. And you're going to make it a game to say his name and bring him back to you running backwards. Jasper! Oh, wow, that's all stress. Shake off. Jasper! Yay! And you can click him as he's coming. Good boy. But I really have to pull him into me, which...
Yeah. And that's how I have to get him out of the house.
Just drag him.
Just drag him, or sometimes I have to pick him up and just get him out.
What is that about, huh? What is that about?
Because once he's out, he's fine.
And it might be that once he's out, there's other things for him to think about.
Right.
All right, well, I'm going to have you give it a shot. You're just walking. You're going to say his name. Initially, he may not do anything, and you will have to give him a little pull towards you. Then you want to bring him back. This should be fun, happy, upbeat. Good boy. And the click can come as he starts to turn on his own.
Okay.
So we don't need it right now. Good boy. So grab some of that chicken out of that plastic bag. We'll switch places. Not that he's going to come down here to see me at all.
Come here. Come here.
Jasper!
Come here.
Be happy, 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 happy. Come on!
Come here.
So it all has to be about fun and
Fun.
games and a party. Think of it as
Okay.
having a party. And it may be something that you're going to use to get out of Dodge. Oh, you see a dog, he's he's alerted or maybe he's not alerted. Either way, this won't work when he's in full reaction mode.
Right.
And you're just going to call him, back up, good boy. And then you might just turn and walk the other direction until you can get out of that time. What I would like to see happen is I'd like him to stop practicing. And I'm not sure how to do that because you need to get him out of here.
Right.
Downtown Keene, there's going to be a lot of dogs. They will be leashed. Do you take them out on trails or other places?
We went to Asheville Park a couple weekends ago.
And how was he there?
He was
Same?
fine. Yeah, he was fine. He met a female beagle, and he alerted to her, but she was friendly, so he went up and said hi to her, and he was
Well,
fine.
he's intact and she's a female, so
Right, and
I would hope so. Hello, baby.
Yeah,
That's
that
probably
was-
what he was saying. Look at me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the call back will be sort of get out of Dodge, okay? The other thing that I would like to do, and we may have to do another session, is do the click for looking at the thing, assuming that he's afraid of it. Before he's in full-blown mode, as soon as he alerts, like what you said, his ears go up,
Yeah.
and he sees a dog, you're going to click, but he needs to have enough familiarity with the click that he will turn back to you, expecting that high-value treat.
Okay.
And, you know, I kind of use standard chicken, liverwurst and stuff, but if you've got some leftovers, like I just saw, like maybe try some of that. Have you tried that before
Yeah.
outside?
I have, and I've tried different things, but he just, once he's outside, sometimes he gets really nervous, and food's not a...
And he won't work for
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right, let's see. My choice would be that he stay what we call below threshold. So he's not at his reaction point. And you're going to have to find something if he's not in full-blown reaction and he will eat, that you can feed him as that dog goes by. Have you
Right.
tried anything like that?
Yeah, I've tried to bring his attention back to me and give him cheese as the dog passes, but usually it's attention on the dog and who cares who's around me.
And so the food at that point is irrelevant.
Right.
Do you feel like the dog is too close? Do you feel like it might be more successful if the dog was further apart?
It might be.
That would be my guess. So I'm sort of running these scenarios in my head. There's like several things that has to happen. He needs to adjust to having things put on him in here. That certainly could be contributing to your outdoor issues. Most dogs get excited when they see this come out, and he didn't really have that reaction.
Usually he runs in his crate.
Wow. So he may have, like, does he have any other skin or tactile issues? Because if he sees this and runs in his crate, then this is aversive to him.
Right, no, he doesn't have any other. Usually he'll run in his crate, or if my stepdad's in here, he'll run behind him and hide. Like, you can't see me, so you're not going to put that on me.
And what happened when he used the gentle eater?
He'll freeze.
He just freezes.
Just freeze. Anything, if you put anything on him, like he had a coat when he was younger, totally freeze.
And wouldn't move.
Wouldn't move. And you couldn't get him to move, whether you had food, whether you had... I'm not moving. Something foreign on me.
And he was that way since he was a puppy. Well, somehow we have to address that. And I don't know if that's anxiety. He certainly doesn't look like an anxious dog, but it is this... It's not like it's torture, but the fact that he runs away when this comes out is very telling. And he probably drags you if you walk him on this thing, on just the collar.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, do you have a gentle eater?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's grab that. I want to see if we can work. I want to show you just how to start to desensitize him to it. Even if it's not the right size, that's fine, Logan. And you've tried this outside? And he won't eat this outside either. All right. So we're going to try, I don't know that I need the leash, but. So I'm going to keep this open, the nose band. Hang on. As wide as possible.
Okay.
And in order to get the food, he's going to have to come through it. Good boy. Then I'm physically going to just tighten that up on him. So no problem with that. He does like that. That's nice. Okay. Hang on there. Let me... I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Probably make it too small. We'll see what happens. So when the food is gone, just hit me a little bit more. Then you can take it off. So make sure he'll move to wherever this thing is. Good boy. And now, so just hold it here and let him feel that pressure some more. Look right there. Okay, so one more blob of stuff. And I would take several days to do this. So that, hang on. And I would start to feed him with this on.
Okay.
So a couple of days of just this, then you're going to clip it, feed him. As soon as food is gone, you're going to take it all off.
Okay.
If he starts to target on his own, that's fantastic. I mean, there's several ways up the mountain, but this is going to be the fastest way.
Okay.
Then I'd like you, after a couple of days that you've had this on, it's been clipped on the back, I'd like you to feed him his meal. Even if
Okay.
you hand feed it to him, and you may need to have some sessions where, like, I would just leave this on him. I mean,
Okay.
if he wears this, then you're not worried about dogs grabbing.
No.
Okay, so just leave it on.
Okay.
And he also, he seems a little worried about the leash. So I would work on desensitizing all of this stuff.
Okay.
We don't have to do it all today, but attach a leash, let him run around with that, take it off. Or do the whole, eventually, you can do the whole process. So a couple of days to desensitize, gets a little tighter. When it's on, you can pull on this thing a little bit so he starts to feel all that pressure. Food, it comes off. Then you're going to put it on, feed him. So this becomes a predictor of being fed. Like, once you start the process, I would always put this on him to feed him.
Okay.
All right, so it'll take you a little bit longer. In the meantime, you're going to randomly attach the, you're going to randomly attach this to him
Okay.
so that he can just start feeling it, stepping on it while he's walking around the house. And then after that, it can be attached to this and feed him, and then take it all off.
Okay.
So that we don't, there's a lot of different issues happening here, and we can't, it's not just about the fact that he won't eat
Right.
when you're out. It seems like he's stressed when you're out, and, come here, and he won't, and then he's got this stuff on his body, come here,
Right.
that he doesn't like. And is he good at the vets? I
Yeah.
know you work at a vet.
Yeah.
And no problems?
Nope.
Huh. No problems at all? The boy. I know. But he's
Sometimes
not.
the most he does at the vets is whines.
Okay.
But I can take him to work with me, so he's
Yeah, he's there
custom-
all the time.
Yeah.
All right. I would address the sensitivity to things on his body before we address how to get him to, because that seems like that's part of the problem. And we're going to do some sort of adversive over the counter, but I would like to see the shenanigans that happen when you put him in that room. So let's go and get that
Okay.
all set up.
Here, Jasper.
doing it.
He got up there to get the food. Now he got down. He jumped up to get the food and then got down.
Okay. So are you usually in here when he does this, or?
Yeah. Or I'm in my bedroom. Usually he'll do it when we're not paying attention. And
Right. So does he need to see the food like go in the sink? Will that motivate him to get up there?
it might. He's going to do it again because he thinks there's food up there. He's up there and he's going to pull the gate down. He's up there on the wash machine, but he won't pull it.
So maybe flash that food and stick in the sink and then come in here.
He's standing up on the gate, looking over there.
He's thinking about it. That didn't take any. Well, hi, Remington.
Moxie might not. Sometimes she does, but that's where she gets her dinner, so she knows she's not allowed over that.
All right. I guess they're camera shy about pulling off the.
Off. Come here. Down.
All right. Let's do a wrap up. That was very funny. All right, so let's just sort of summarize here. I've seen dogs with issues with harness and things on them when they've had some traumatic thing happen that makes their body funny like that. But he's not had anything like that. So my preference is let's try to forget using the harness because I think
Okay.
that's too much on him and go to the gentle eater because it's much, if we can get him desensitized to it and like it and eat with it on, yes, I'm happy to see it come out. That's going to be better. I would, so is there a time at night when you could safely take the red collar off him?
Yep.
And do you do that now?
Yeah.
And he acts all crazy like you've taken my collar off?
He'll jump on you. And
You take it off every night and he does
every
this.
night.
So he's not.
They do the last bathroom about 8 o'clock, and then they're collar free, but he'll paw at you.
For you to put it back on.
And if you hang it up, he'll jump up and nudge it off so you have to hide it in a drawer because he'll.
Wow. Well, I was going to say practice taking the collar on and off. I would definitely put the blue one on and take it off and put it on and take it off.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly, whether that will make any difference in terms of his ability to adjust. It may be like for us, like some people, if there's a tag on the back of the shirt, like they can't concentrate, it's their primary focus.
Right.
So the only other thing is depending on, what your goals are and how irritating all of these things are, because he's great in the house. This all happens when you take him out.
Right.
So if you aspire to, be able to take him out more and more and do stuff with them, then we might want to look at having you see Dr. Posage. She's in Nashua.
Okay.
And she is a veterinary behaviorist and could decide whether some low dose, like anti-anxiety or antidepressant would help him.
Okay.
And it can, for some dogs, make all the difference in the world, and for others it doesn't. And she would really be the one to make that call. Yes, medication can help this situation, because aside from you telling me those things, he doesn't visually look like an anxious dog.
Right.
But clearly there is something that happens if he's anxious when you take the collar off. If he freezes when you put the collar on.
Right.
Like that's all very weird and not completely normal.
Right.
Especially since he's 2 and he's lived with you his whole life and you've put this thing on and off him and all kinds of
Right.
stuff. So that is definitely an option. Until we can get all these pieces together, I would try to avoid other dogs or give him as wide a berth as possible,
Okay.
right? Because the other thing is if he had a collar on, then you could at least take him by the collar and not have him physically staring at the other dog. With the harness, we can't do that.
Right.
With gentle leader, we can, which is another reason that might serve even better than the harness.
Right.
All right. So I'd like you to shore up his sits. His down is good, so you're going to start to fade the treats and do that on a variable schedule.
Yep.
When possible, I'd like you to start to do the callbacks. We didn't get a chance to see his leave it, but that can also be helpful. And we really can't do the clicker. There's sort of a protocol where you let the dog look at the scary thing, you click him for looking, and then he looks back to you. But
Yeah.
my gut feeling from what you've shared is he's not going to do that outside.
No.
There seems to be several other things that are happening. Somebody roughhousing in the other room. Is that Remington and Jasper? Are they going to be okay?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions?
No. I think
I mean,
we'll just slowly
there's a
work.
lot of things that need to be done, but
Right.
you can't do all of those things at
Right,
once.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Doggy Dilemmas. I look forward to seeing you next week.
If you have a doggy dilemma, Denise can help. Visit www.denisemazzola.com for more information. Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer tested through the Association of Pet Dog Trainers. The association requires recertification every 3 years with a minimum of 30 hours of continuing education. She has been training dogs and working with families for over 20 years.